everyone, Eloise here for Craftie Cafe, and today I'll be using the W+9 Christmas Rose Bouquet stamp set that was just released. This is a gorgeous stamp set. It reminds me so much of the Kind Soul stamp set, but obviously I love poinsettia images, and so this one was a big hit for me, and I can't wait to create a ton of Christmas cards using this set. I think I'm actually going to do some mass producing designs of this set, I think, for cards, because it's such a large image, and if you use the right coloring medium, you can mass produce these so fast. So I just stamped it down with VersaFine Onyx Black ink using my stamp platform by Tim Holtz, and then I also clear heat embossed the image, and now I'm colouring in the flowers or the image with Zig Clean Colour Real Brush markers. My main reason for using these markers is, one, I absolutely love them to death. I think you get such great results with them, or at least I do. I really love them. I really rate them. But the main reason I'm using these is because they're fast, and they are one of the best colouring mediums I've found if you want to mass produce, because you use one marker and you can get 10 shades of that same colour with that one marker. There's no blending 3 colors together like you do with Copics. It's just so super quick and easy. I really love these markers just for the simplicity of them. Like, you don't have to be pro with them either. It's literally just scribbling down the color where you want the darkest area to be, pulling it out, and you've got a gorgeous blend. That's all I do with these markers. I'm not fancy at all with them, and yeah, so I really love these and rate these markers so much. And yeah, so basically I'm just coloring them in just like how I said before, darkest where I want the darkest areas to be, and pulling it out with a water brush. I think using a water brush with these markers is key as well, because I feel like the continuous flow of water really helps blend them out, and so you sort of get that seamless blend that I think sometimes people struggle with these markers, but I've definitely found using a water brush helps me with that a lot. So I'm using 3 different colours for the flowers. I did one red one, then one sort of pinky red one, and now I'm going to be doing 2 white flowers. And I got the inspiration for this. I think one of the designers for W+9 shared a card, and I saw that there was a couple of flowers that were left white, or had just a little bit of shading on them to make them appear more white, and I really loved that. So I decided to pull inspiration from that and do that as well. So I think it was Giannis McCullough, but I could be totally wrong about that. But I will link to the project in my blog post, so you guys can find it too. And yeah, so I'm just continuing colouring. I think definitely having the different colour flowers really adds a lot of interest to the card. So I went ahead and coloured those, and now I'm colouring the leaves. So I'm again using 2 different colours of green leaves. I'm using a more limey green for the leaves that are like the more typical style of leaves, I would say, and then I'm using a more like of an emerald darker green for the curved leaves that are a lot smaller. And basically I felt that if I used 2 different shades of green, it really brought a lot of depth and interest to the image. This isn't a simple image whatsoever, but the card I'm going to be creating with this image is quite simple. It's literally just one image with a sentiment over top, not much to it, but I feel that when you have a simple card like that, your colouring is really going to be the focus of the card, and having a lot more to the image with using different colours, I think really helps draw attention to that and create a much beautiful card. So I'm really guilty of just doing, like, for example, these are poinsettias, or the main image is a poinsettia, typically I would go ahead and colour all the flowers red, then do all the same green for all of the leaves. And I felt like since I changed it up a little bit for this card, it just is a lot more interesting, And yeah, so I finished up colouring in the image, and then I went over the image entirely with a Wink of Stella clear glitter pen and then ran it through my Big Shot machine. And now I'm on to the background. So for this background, I'm using 3 colours of distress ink, so you could use oxide inks or any ink that was going to react well with water, and basically I'm just blending them onto a piece of watercolor cardstock. So this is Tim Holtz watercolor cardstock, and I'm basically just blending 3 blue inks on here. I'm using Tumbled Glass, Salty Ocean, and also Peacock Feathers. And this is a really quick way to get a really simple and soft watercolor background. I struggle with watercolor backgrounds, especially when they're just, like one color, but I found this way is quite easy to do. So basically I just blend on the color, add a ton of water on top, and then go around the edges with a paper towel to soften them out and sort of get them to fade into white. And I just feel like it creates such a gorgeous, soft looking background, and it worked perfectly for the design I was going for. So here it is all completed, and now I can adhere my image over top. So I've just added some foam tape onto the back, and now I'm placing it sort of in the center. I sort of want there to be the same amount of room on the top and bottom, so that's sort of what I was going for. And then I just went ahead and used this set by MFT and just white heat embossed the Merry Christmas sentiment onto a black strip, and then just adhered that onto my background with foam tape. So then to completely finish off the card, I just added some fun foam onto the back of my panel and adhered it on to a note card that was covered with some black and white diagonal striped paper that actually came from a paper pad from Kmart. So there we go. So that finishes up my card for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you all next time. Thanks so much for watching.